There's a rule that doesn't exist in books, not in podcasts, not even in your favorite horror movies' deleted scenes. It's something whispered late at night, the kind of thing you overhear at a sleepover when the lights are off and someone's dared to look into the mirror. They call it the 3:33 rule. Wake up at 3:33 a.m. Walk to the nearest mirror. Look yourself dead in the eye and ask, "Who's really me?" Sounds innocent, doesn't it? But this isn't Bloody Mary. This isn't Candyman. This is older, stranger. This is about you. They say something answers, but what answers isn't you? It's something else. And once you've asked, once you've heard that voice, it doesn't stop. It whispers back for the rest of your life. Welcome to the Haunt Line. Tonight, we meet a man named Eric Sloan who didn't just break the rule. He became it. Eric Sloan was a clean-cut kind of guy, a minimalist. The type who labeled his pantry jars and made his bed with military corners. He was also unraveling. Ever since the night Chloe died, he hadn't made it through a single night without waking up. At first, it was random, 2:47 for 19, 1:33, but soon, it locked in, 3:33 a.m. Every night, his body just knew. And each time he woke, the apartment felt wrong. Not scary, just off. Like something was watching him, waiting for him to notice. His mirror, this full-length, old wooden frame thing, began to feel alive. He'd walk past it and get this tug in his gut, like a cold rope pulling at his insides. He covered it with a sheet. The next night, the sheet was on the floor. He tried ignoring it. He stopped looking at it altogether. But the thing about mirrors, they don't care if you're watching. They watch you. And some nights, he thought he saw something move behind his reflection. Eric saved the last voicemail Chloe ever left him. He never told anyone about it, not even the police. She sounded distracted, off, like she'd just woken up.
Hey babe, I don't know why I'm home. I had this weird dream. I woke up at 3:33. I went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror. I said, "Was it really me?"
The crash cut her off. The timestamp on the voicemail? 3:33 a.m. Eric listened to it so many times he wore out the speaker grill on his phone. He memorized her tone, her inflection, the way her breath hitched before she asked. It was almost like she hadn't been alone. And deep down, Eric wondered if she'd really died in that crash or if something else had taken her place first. He gave in on a Tuesday. He hadn't planned to. He just found himself standing in front of the mirror, like he'd been guided there in his sleep. No lights, just the digital clock behind him. The room was dim enough that his reflection was more silhouette than face. His voice came out hoarse, unsure. Who's really me? Silence. Then, a whisper, not from inside his head, not from the room, from inside the mirror.
Not you.
It didn't feel malevolent. It felt factual, like the mirror was just correcting an assumption. He stumbled back, knocked over the hamper, banged his shin. He turned on every light in the apartment, slept with the TV on. But nothing could drown out the fact that his reflection hadn't said those words. Something else had. Eric started recording himself that night. Just audio. He didn't tell anyone. He barely acknowledged it himself. By the fifth night, he caught something. A whisper, low and gravelly. His own voice, but not quite right. Who's really me? Followed by a response. Becoming, and then breathing. As if someone or something was on the other side of the recorder. He went to see a therapist, Dr. Lane. He didn't plan on telling her everything, but he did. She listened, patiently, took notes, then asked a question that froze him. You didn't ask it twice, did you? He hadn't told her about the mirror. He hadn't told her what time he'd asked. He asked her what she meant. She didn't respond, just circled something in her notes and changed the subject. He never saw her again. Her office was cleared out by the end of the week. No forwarding address. No explanation. The mirror in her waiting room had been smashed. Eric stopped looking in mirrors, but they kept looking at him. At first, it was passing glimpses, a flash of his face in a storefront window, too fast to notice something was off. But then it became obvious. His reflection didn't match. It blinked too slow, smiled too wide. Sometimes it didn't even look up when he did. One night, he saw himself standing in the mirrored subway window, just standing still, unmoving, as the real Eric sat inside the train, frozen. Then it waved. A small, two-fingered twitch. Slow, calculated, and aware. He got off 3 stops early and vomited on the platform. That night, every screen in his apartment flickered with his own face, smiling, breathing, watching. And in every mirror he passed, it wasn't fear he felt anymore. It was recognition. He decided to finish it. One final night, one camera, a ring of salt, a single candle flickering against the mirror's skin. The air was electric, thick, like it was being held hostage by something watching from the dark. At 3:33, the candle sputtered and Eric spoke. "What are you?" The mirror didn't reply at first.
It moved.
The surface rippled, not glass, not liquid, something in between. Then the reflection opened its mouth, but no sound came out. Its eyes, however, they glowed, like embers. Finally, it whispered, "I'm what's left, when you forget who you are." The candle blew out, and in the pitch black, he heard it breathe. Not once, not rhythmically, but like it had just begun learning how. Then came the grin. A full stretch across its face, too wide, too many teeth. And slowly, one foot stepped forward, out of the mirror. What the camera caught was fragmentary, glitched. The timestamp jumped, the audio warped. But what was clear was the swab.
Eric fell backward, paralyzed, eyes wide with understanding, and something else, something ancient, stepped forward and filled the space he left behind. Its movements were wrong, too fluid, too confident. It walked through the salt circle like it wasn't there.
Took Eric's clothes, looked at its hands like it was trying them on. Then it stared into the camera, grinned, and blinked with both eyes out of sync. The police were called the next day. Neighbors complained of static screams and lights flickering through the walls. Inside the apartment, they found no blood, no sign of forced entry, just dust, glass, and on the mirror, "I am." A final recording played from the camera's dying battery. Eric's voice, or what sounded like him, murmured, "Thank you for letting me out." And then came the whisper, soft and urgent. "Who's next?" 3 officers quit the force that week. One refuses to speak about what he saw. He keeps every mirror in his house covered with black cloth. And every night, he wakes up at 3:33.
So, if you wake at 3:33, I am.
Don't look in the mirror. Don't ask questions. Don't give it your name. Because the moment you do, you're not just waking up. You're letting something else in. This has been the Hotline. I'm Paul Noir. If tonight's story kept you company in the dark, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe, share it, leave a light on, or maybe don't. And if your reflection ever smiles first, run. Until next time, sleep deep, but not too deep.